Speedrunning in BeamNG comes in many forms, from short, chaotic scenarios to long, multi-stage campaigns, but not all of them get the same love from the devs. Some are constantly updated, tweaked and improved, while others is seemingly forgotten. One of those relics of the past is senseless destruction, a true testament to BeamNG's soft body physics, a campaign that's been in the game for nearly 10 years. But no updates doesn't mean no evolution. Over the years, speedrunners kept finding new strategies and bugs to save time, completing the campaign in just over 2 minutes. This is the story of how they did it.
That's it, baby. That's it. Let's go!
A constantly growing game is both a blessing and a curse. On one side, huge new options for interesting and extraordinary gameplay, like career mode or the new scenarios. But on the other hand, some parts are being completely forgotten or flat out ignored due to not being a priority. Senseless Destruction, a 10-year-old campaign, is the prime example of this duality. In all that time, it's been mentioned in the patch notes only 3 times, not even counting its original release, and each time it was just a single line of text. This led to some unique stability in strategies across speedrunning. Every single part of this campaign is unique, with difficulty ranging from easy to run ending. But the main goal of this challenge is simple: showcase soft body physics. Card drops, explosions, movable objects, suspension, and even a cannon. Everything that the game was advertising at that time was present. This campaign consists of 11 separate missions, and to get a successful run, you must complete each of them without fail, one after the other. While it might seem easy at first, some of the missions have big RNG element to them. Let's take a closer look. First mission, a simple drop down, nothing fancy. Second is a drag race with a twist. Opponent's car explode mid-run and can block the road. Third is a nasty bridge crossing. Fourth is another drop down. This time, however, both cars should go down. Fifth is rock crawling. Sixth is a cannon, where precision is a must. Number 7, a very tough rock crawling mission with a very mediocre vehicle. Mission 8, AFK City, there is no finish, only a 20-second timer. Number 9, jump with a ramp. Mission 10 is a quick jump and hit on a wall. And finally, mission number 11, ramp and a huge barricade to jump over. The first ever run was submitted by Nico3D, a player with a very direct approach to the campaign. Do it as straightforward as possible. Need to drop the car down the hill, take speed and leap forward. No strategy, no problem. This is the best place to explain how exactly time is calculated in this 11 mission campaign. Basically, it's just the sum of all mission times. The first run was done in just above 4 minutes, and in the middle of 2017, the first ever benchmark in the whole of BeamNG speedrunning was placed. Strategies started to form later in the year. With the campaign having multiple missions, there were many ways to save time, but at this point, only 2 were found and successfully implemented. HootWillZ managed to note several interesting patterns that will establish themselves as a core for this map for years to come. First one, finish conditions. This campaign features 2 different types: regular finish checkpoints and hidden checklist. The second one is where the magic happens, mainly because it has one specific condition to end the mission. The car must come to a full stop. This meant that precision now was a key aspect of these runs. You need to land cleanly and stop as soon as possible, at least on majority of missions. HootWillZ tried to make the most out of each mission with cleaner driving and implemented a neat little solution on the first one. After all, the point of this mission is to drop the car down from the hill, so why bother with trying to get speed? A quick right-hander and the job is done. That being said, the runner got extremely unlucky with bounces and lost a significant amount of time to the car not settling quickly. but in the end, the runner still managed to save more than 1 minute. Sadly for the community, speedrunning was not yet established as a big part of BeamNG, and so there was simply no competition. And with the game constantly being updated, this campaign was overlooked in favor of more general mission types, scenarios and time trials. Only in 2020 did this challenge once again get traction after an updated physics engine and improved graphics, with the water glue leading the charge. However, strategies remained mostly the same: clean driving and stopping as fast as possible. Runner managed to improve the first mission substantially. He also tried to implement a new tactic, a unique approach to Mission 4, one of the most unpredictable challenges in the campaign. The premise is simple: two cars, one should hit the other, sending them both over the cliff. The timer will stop once the player-controlled vehicle stops, but with a steep hill, it's nearly impossible to both get to the target fast and not waste time launching yourself all the way to the bottom. Waterglue tried to push right at the start and land near the rocks, but was unsuccessful. At the end, his overall time was 8 seconds faster. Sub 3 minutes was broken, but it pales in comparison to what will happen later down the line. Pontus0209 managed to launch the next cycle of competition in this campaign. He included several weird but effective strategies in his run. The first mission was done near flawlessly, with almost no movement after the drop. Even today, a 6.7 second result is tough to beat and considered a strong start to any run. But it's on the third mission where speedrunning creativity truly shines. This challenge is basically a skill check. You've got an old heavy car and need to drive across a wooden bridge in strong, gusty wind. Previous runners took it slow and steady, but Pontus noticed something interesting. The mission had two finish triggers. One was the normal checkpoint at the end of the bridge, but the other could activate if you fell off, with enough progress made. Sure, that gave you a terrible score, but in speedrunning, scores don't matter. Time does. So instead of crossing safely, Pontus just yeeted himself off the bridge at the right spot, finishing faster than anyone before. But that wasn't the only trick up his sleeve. The second one appeared on the final mission. The idea of this one is simple: a powerful but overheating car and a straight run toward a roadblock. By using a conveniently placed ramp, jumping over it is easy but costly. For starters, it aligned almost straight into the hillside, but the second problem is much more prominent. Just like on the third map, this one has two finish triggers as well, one hidden further up the road, and another that checked if the player had crossed the barricade and stopped moving, which simply means you need to land as smoothly as possible and either keep going or try to stop completely. Crash here means a ton of wasted time. Pontus tried to use that second condition by going just slow enough to make it work, but it was still a bit too slow, mainly because of the speed control needed before the jump. Still, it was an interesting discovery, and after nearly a year, a new world record was set once again, with another second shaved off the total time. Just about 1 month later, this record wasn't beaten by a second or two, it was obliterated by almost 15 seconds. Blitzen, a well-known bus route champion, stepped in to try his luck and find creative ways to completely break this campaign, and that he did. Funnily enough, his first and second maps were actually slower than the previous runners, but on the third one, that's where the magic happened. Thanks to Pontus, it was already known that falling from the bridge could end the mission, but how far could that trick be pushed? As it turns out, you didn't even need to fall. If you stopped on the bridge itself, the mission would still be completed. The exact stop point was tricky to find, but after some trial and error, Blitzen found the perfect setup: go right, then left, and stop right after the two sticking poles. That position placed the car just inside the trigger zone, marking it as a valid finish. This strategy was 3 times faster than anyone thought possible on that map, instantly saving about 10 seconds. That, however, was only one out of 2 unique tricks that he implemented. The second one comes on map 9. This one has the easiest goal ever. Take a police car and go as fast as possible on the ramp. Whether you hit the target car or not doesn't matter. The mission counts as successful when the player-controlled car hits the ground after the jump. There is, however, a hidden mechanic. If the vehicle does not get to a specific height, mission finish will not be triggered. By going on the side of the ramp, Blitzen managed to reduce airtime and land much faster, which in turn saved several seconds. The rest of the run was performed cleanly and quickly, especially the last map, where the runner decided to go as fast as possible. Turns out, this is the best approach, and it saves quite a bit of time, assuming you can land cleanly. After all of that, Blitzen's final time was 2 minutes and 43 seconds, and almost 15-second improvement. After that, things went quiet for about 6 months. A few new runners showed up, but most just tried to polish existing strategies, making them cleaner and more consistent. Striker Boy managed to beat the first map by 2 seconds compared to Blitzen, and kept saving small chunks of time on nearly every mission after that. By the end, his total was 5 seconds faster. At the time, that was considered a massive improvement for a campaign that already seemed highly optimized. But the runners knew there was still something left to fight. Not long after losing his record, Blitzen came back, this time with a brand new idea. As mentioned earlier, Map 4 is one of the most luck-based missions in the entire campaign. You can go slower to make it safer, sure, but that just wastes time. The question was, could you remove the luck without losing speed? Turns out, the answer was right there all along. The hill on this mission is steep and full of rocks. Basically, if the car goes down normally, that's lost time. Every bump and hit from terrain slows you down substantially. But there is a small flat surface right after the drop down. What's better, it's filled with rocks that can be used to stop the car from going down. That was the idea. By going right from the start and taking a wide turn to the car, Blitzen managed to jump straight down and land nicely on the flat part of the hill. While it might look like RNG, this jump is very predictable and, dare I say, consistent, even with BeamNG soft body physics. This strategy gave Blitzen the push that he needed to retake his crown. He managed to save 6.5 seconds just on this one trial. After that, some clean driving wrapped up his world record, almost 8 seconds saved. He nearly broke the 30-second barrier. After that, silence once again. Huge new updates with new vehicles and maps meant that this campaign was forgotten once again, up until mid-2023, when a new runner tried his luck. Epix did everything by the book. Quick drop down on the first one, stop in the middle of the bridge on the third one, and use the ramp on mission 9 to get a faster landing. But among all those tricky strategies and shortcuts, Map 4 stands out the most. This runner managed to implement a difficult strategy that will become one more staple for anyone who wants to get a world record. Epix decided to not try fancy strategies and instead focused on landing near the closest rocks. Bold move considering the number of problems that might occur. By going straight first and later rapidly turning to the left with maximum brakes, the runner managed to set up a near-perfect drop-down and wedge himself between rock and mountain. This led to a rapid stop of a vehicle and a near-instant finish. Epix was 6.5 seconds faster than Blitzen, and he held that lead all the way to the end. He broke the 2-minute and 30 seconds barrier, becoming the undisputed champion of senseless destruction for nearly a year. Believe it or not, the next person to take the record was actually me. This campaign was my first introduction to BeamNG speedrunning, and I was not ready for what was about to happen. This run features a simple strategy: improve upon everything. Why bother going far onto the bridge on map 3 if the trigger is right behind the two poles? That already saved 3 seconds. Sadly, my map 4 was far from perfect, and that meant a loss of 3 seconds. After that, however, I have managed to gain time by simply getting a better jump on map 9. And after a year, fire was ignited once again. There was still much more time to save, and the community started theory crafting and implementing new and crazy strategies. In just 12 days, I improved my time by almost 4 seconds by simply cleaner driving and even more ridiculous optimization on map 3. Now it was done under 2 seconds. But a new challenger was spotted on the horizon. Haiku. This runner is a hitman of the speedrunning community. They love to try and retake records from new runners just for the fun of it. But this campaign was proven to be the biggest challenge yet. However hard, Haiku started grinding and after almost 3 weeks managed to get a run. It was extremely similar to my own. Simple, clean optimization, especially on mission number 5 and 7. Haiku is known for his off-road skills after all. It all came down to an almost 1 second time save. After that, for nearly 3 months, I was grinding on and off, trying to get that one perfect run. Eventually, I managed to get close to what I thought was a perfect run. I implemented a new strategy on map 3. Turns out, going right and hitting the pole itself counts as getting on the bridge, which allows you to stop almost instantly. This tactic helped save another 2/10, but it's on map 4, where seconds were to be saved. I managed to get an even better landing than the one Epix did earlier, and got an insane sub 11 seconds. And after a safe jump on map 9 and clean driving, the world record was set, 2 minutes and 13.7 seconds, 4 seconds faster than Haiku. This was the run that wasn't going down without tens of hours of grinding. Sadly for me, that's exactly what happened. And on November 6, 2024, Vulp managed to perform this run.
6319. $18,755. 211. Settle. 10.698. I think that's decent. Probably a high 12. 12.4, we'll take it. .007. 20.981. 20.002. Nice. $11.603. Oh, but we get the good strap. 7.615. I fucking did it. That's it, baby. That's it. 16.211. Let's go! Not only sub 10, sub 19.
This run sits right at the edge of what's even possible on this map, and it only happened thanks to Vulp's persistence and the work that both Haiku and I put in weeks earlier. The segmented run. We tried every mission hundreds of times and then put all of the best runs together to see what the best possible time was. It involved RNG, AI manipulation, and tricks that will probably never be repeated again. Because of that, Vulp started his run with a huge advantage. Even so, it took him nearly 6 days of nearly non-stop grinding to get this incredible run. His first mission was 6.3 seconds, only 1400 slower than the segmented run. Map 3 was another highlight, using a brand new trick discovered by Haiku and even faster way to finish the challenge. The trigger for starting the bridge crossing works both ahead and behind the start zone, and by going backwards it activates instantly, giving a clean 1.2 second finish. Massive time save. But of course, everything was decided on map 4, where Vulp managed to get a sub 11 seconds run. After all of that, he tried an incredibly risky strategy on map 10. This is a very easy mission at its core. Take a car and go jump into a wall. Easy to understand and do. Finish here triggers if the car hits the wall and stops afterwards. This vehicle, however, has very bad brakes and a pretty powerful engine, which leads to a nasty braking distance. Haiku managed to find a unique solution to this, a perfect lineup. Half of the car hits the wall, other half in the ditch. It sounds easy, but the setup here is nearly impossible. Vulp was not planning on making it happen. Right before the mission, he was counting seconds to see if a safe route would make sub 10 seconds possible.
I'm actually okay if I go for a safe strat here, I think.
But by sheer luck, he managed to get a finish which was only half a second slower than the segmented run. And then came the final mission, home to the last major tree. You see, the car is incredibly powerful, but sadly, cars in BeamNG don't accelerate in the air, which means going through the typical ramp route is out of the question. Lucky for speedrunners, the developers left a second route next to the barricade, a narrow gap lined with sharp rocks. One small mistake and the run is over, but if done right, this is the fastest way to the finish. After all of this, Vulp finished with a 2 minute and 8.838 second run, saving almost 5 seconds. The future of that campaign is clear as day. If someone's willing to sink even more hours into grinding, there are still around 4 seconds left to save, at least in theory. But in reality, no one has dared to challenge Vulp's run yet. Not even me. Who knows what will happen tomorrow? Maybe you will be the next one to hold this incredible record. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you will try this one out. I am curious to hear if anyone will try to beat this. While you are down there, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps a ton. Hope to see you in the next one.